Hey everyone. So, the past 24 hours have had some relatively uneventful things and then some relatively eventful things happen. Uh, Starting last night or this morning when I locked my keys in the truck. I was a little tired. I was just super excited that I was about to go take a shower at a truck stop, and I was like, I haven't been to one of these in a while. So all I was thinking of was getting my stuff together, and then next thing you know, go to close the door, and caught a quick glimpse of the keys in the ignition as I did it, and I was like, that sucks. So, called up the terminal. They gave me the number for who I had to call. Called them up. Waited on hold for like 20 minutes. Now I'm standing outside the truck. It's kind of misting, raining, and I'm like, this is not a place I want to be. And they's like, oh, we found someone. It's going to be an hour and a half. It's like, an hour and a half, really? But I guess I had no choice. I wasn't about to go bust the window open. And so I was like, alright. So, I went and got some breakfast and sat around and did absolutely nothing. And then, 5 o'clock in the morning comes around. The guy pops the door. Bam, I got the keys. I'm open. I'm in. All I wanted to do at that point was just go to sleep. I didn't need to have any extra food. I didn't need to have that cup of coffee. I was just killing time. So I was like, oh, great. Messed up, but it wasn't that bad. They were like, oh, you left your keys in the truck. That's happened before. So, I don't feel terrible about it. I'm glad it happened when I was at a place like a truck stop rather than, if I was out in the middle of nowhere, if I was still OTR, like Little America. Jeez, that place, population 68 people, Little America, Nebraska. So then I ended up shutting down for the night, get up today, and now I had to, because I was still down in Richmond, I had to get back to Monrovia to pick up my next load. Normally it's like, it's about 140, 150 miles, something like that, so it should take like 3 hours, maybe, probably. It took me about 5, because you got to keep in mind, you got to go through DC and try and get around Baltimore, and the first bit of it, no problem going up 95, but then once you get to, 495, 395, the DC area, doesn't matter what time of day, because it was like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it took me until 5 o'clock to go that last like 40 or 50 miles. So, between the traffic and accidents and all that stuff and the rain, it was just like, great. But what kept me going is that I knew I was going to get a nice long trip down to Norfolk, which is actually where I'm sitting now, which is another story. On my way down here, which is fine, I had just about the amount of hours to get down here, no big deal. But trying to get out of here to find a place to park would have been a problem. I wouldn't be still sitting at the store if a number of things hadn't happened. On my way down here, for some odd reason, the GPS decided, you're on 64, you want to take 664 and go the long way around the city, go 3/4 of the way around the city to come back to be right next to the highway. I wasn't going to argue it. I've never been here before. Maybe the GPS knew something I didn't know. No, I would definitely have known better than the GPS at this point, because as soon as I went through the tunnel on 664 over there, GPS just decided to go, yeah, we're gone. We're just not going to work anymore. So currently, my Qualcomm still thinks I'm sitting at that tunnel entrance in Newport News. Because of that, I get here to the store, I drop my trailer, I try and put in my call, it says, I'm here. It says, okay, you're here. And then immediately says, you're nowhere near here. You're nowhere near where you're supposed to be. Try sending it again. I sent it in 3 more times. Nothing. I was like, well, I'm here. So I pick up a trailer, and I try and do my empty call. It says, hey, I'm done, next load, and it says, you haven't arrived yet. I was like, pretty sure I can show you on my outbox that it says I sent in the call that I arrived. So the driver manager in Monrovia was on lunch, so I called Richmond. I waited on hold for a little more than a half an hour. It was like 35 minutes, and I was like, nah, I'm not doing that. So I called back to Monrovia thinking that the driver manager was off at lunch. Turns out she wasn't, but I briefly explained what was happening. So according to that computer that tracks where this truck is, it still thinks I'm in Newport News. And she said, oh, you moved to Newport News, but I fixed everything. No. Nah. GPS don't know where I am. So in that time that I had to wait here for about an hour between on hold with Richmond and then waiting for the driver manager to fix and figure out what was going on with this call, an hour had gone by, and that left me with an hour and 15 minutes to get 70 miles to try and find a place to park. And I say try and find a place because that wasn't guaranteed. There are only 2 places to park out here. One is 70 miles away, one is 90 miles away. And in this truck, 70 miles will take a while. So here I am, hanging out in Norfolk, out in front of the store, behind the store rather. So I got the truck parked out of the way, and I shut down. So it's, it is what it is right now. But yeah, so now I gotta wait here instead of going to a rest area. Luckily, I still have some food and some drinks, so I can eat dinner and I can eat breakfast. I'll be fine. But getting home tomorrow, that's going to be another thing. So I have 6 hours and 45 minutes left on my 70, and it's almost 6 hours to get back to Monrovia, which if they have me go all the way back to Monrovia, that means I'm stuck in Monrovia for 34 hours. There's nothing there. I want to try and get down to my parents' place in Fredericksburg, which is on the way back from here. So what I'm hoping for, which if the next video you see is me at my parents' place, then yeah, then I made it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to call them in the morning. But I'm getting into the routine. I'm finding a rhythm. Dropping hooks. It's cake. It's not that bad. The only thing is, since it's not OTR and it is dedicated, like I was saying before, I was excited to get to a truck stop. I don't pass by truck stops very often. I'm not driving very far. I'm, from where I'm going. I'm not from the distribution center to the stores. Max is like 200, 250 miles. Here, this is one of the farther ones. This was the 250 miles, which is great, because I actually feel like I'm truck driving again, instead of just day cabbing around. But this gets me the practice for my backing. This gets me the practice for all the traffic. This gets me used to driving through small towns that this GPS loves to take me through instead of staying on the highway. And when I'm on the highway up in Maryland, I'm not even on the highway for very long. I'm on the highway for like 20 miles, but with all the traffic and, the people and everything about it, these highways, it don't feel like I'm on the highway. It doesn't feel like I'm going anywhere. Only when I came down to Norfolk, when I get out of DC, down 95, that feels like a highway. Get to Richmond, get out of 64, that's a highway. But up in the Baltimore, DC, Maryland, that whole area, doesn't really feel like I'm truck driving. And I don't take that as the wrong way, because I know driving a truck. There are 18 wheels here There's 53 feet of trailer back there. It's a truck. I'm living here. This is my home now. But it's not over the road. It's definitely not point A to point B, 1,000, 2,000 miles away. Go for days on, weeks on end. It's not like that. But I'll break it down for you guys in another video at another time, maybe in the next couple of days or so. But anyway, look out for the next video. If, like I said, it comes from my parents' place, then yeah, you know I did good and I got my home time there. If not, well, you'll see another video sitting in this truck in the middle of Maryland. So anyway, thanks for watching. I know I talked enough right now, so yeah, I was doing this in the first couple of videos. Like, subscribe, whatever, tell your friends. I don't care. But anyway, thanks for hanging out, and I will see you guys next time.